Today is Sunday, September the 8th, 2024. And I had big plans for today. I'm trying to put together my exercise room. I'm exaggerating, but to me it's important to have the space properly used and, more importantly, to avoid accidents. And while I was contemplating what should I remove, what should I put where, I decided to sort of jump over the hammock, and I hit myself. And I was like, okay, I think I'm being told to relax. And then I was thinking, how many of us have been raised to feel very guilty if they just sit and meditate? You know, not even just sit, not think about anything, just relax and just be. I think very few of us, we have to learn this. We have to learn to unwind. I feel so bad every single day if I'm not able to meet my targets. Obviously, the ones I set for myself. I gave up on trying to hit the targets that others set for me. It's impossible, and it's never enough, and it's never satisfying to them, and to me even less. So it is something we need to unlearn. I mean, I felt so guilty before when I was spending time with my cats. Just pretty much watch them, how they clean their little paws in between the claws and all that. It's really adorable. I adore watching how they, in particular, clean their paws. They're absolutely adorable. See how they enjoy basically being, and then going after what they want. They come see me because they're hungry, because they want to be uh, the center of attention, that type of thing. And I like to do that. I think no one is complete without bonding with an animal, with animals, with birds. I learned so much from animals. I learned from birds. I learned from pretty much everything. You can learn from everything and anything you choose to, if that's what you want. And you can do that while contemplating, just being in the moment, without feeling the pressure that you need to do something to justify how you spend your time. I mean, how many of us feel guilty if, let's say, you decide to spend the whole day reading in bed, for instance, or just not doing anything? It's very hard. I feel guilty if I do something and is not benefiting others. I feel guilty if I do things that I do and seem to be benefiting only me in my little home. But I wonder why. Why do we need to feel guilty for just being? Where did this idea come from? You have to justify your time on planet Earth. Like what? Like creating a lot of garbage, creating a lot of products that break, and then complaining about people not recycling. I don't understand why people don't feel guilty when they're being fully fledged hypocrites. I would feel very guilty. That's why I try to do what I say and say what I do and mean what I say and always say what I mean. That's what we're dealing with, a lot of hypocrisy from people who feel absolutely no guilt for guilting others. I know it's a weird rant for Sunday, but probably not as weird as usually. If you have any thoughts to share with me, please do. I am curious. Am I the only one who feels guilty for contemplating nature, my pets, birds, the wind moving through the trees, activating my wind chimes? I don't know. It is something we need to really look at. Why is it you always have to do something? You need to do this. Otherwise, you're being lazy. Idle hands. Like anything else, there are minimum two sides to a story. And like anything else, there needs to be a balance. And I'm thinking about the balance established by others in our lives. Oh, you've got, let's say, approximately 8 hours of sleep. That's what's recommended, and that's what I actually feel best if I sleep 8 hours a night, which is not happening, unfortunately. I'm just trying to think how our ancestors lived their lives. They did the chores, they took care of their animals, they washed themselves, they took care of the kids. And then they probably had some fun. Maybe singing. Did they have an actual schedule put in place by someone other than nature? Oh, the sun is up. The rooster just announced it's time to get busy. I don't claim to make much sense, but at the same time I'm looking all around me and almost nothing makes sense to me. Even though it's supposed to, according to those who set the standard for normality. Normality has been hijacked to such an extent that everybody's in a state of confusion, and all they think is they need to produce Doesn't matter how good, more into quantity than quality. I recall years ago, decades ago, I was at a pool, like a public pool we had back home, and some teenagers got really crazy and they threw a cassette player into the pool. And then they let it dry. And then, surprise, it was still working. So that was decades ago. It was, if memory serves, it was a Russian cassette player. Pretty sturdy one. Pretty much everything Russians did in the past, I don't know now, were really sturdy things that would last you for years. And in this case, this cassette player was thrown into the water. It dried, and it was fine after that. I'm just wondering, what would happen with the majority of things that are being built today? They're so fragile. The most important parts, the ones that have to have most resistance, are made of plastic or rubber or something that deteriorates in a few months, years, some of them days. So to me that is hypocrisy. Because you've got a society, you've got those people at the top who claim to care about the planet, for instance. And they encourage producing crap. If I were at the top, I would say everybody needs to be very mindful when they create things. Because in the end, if we continue like this, we're going to be pretty much swallowed in a big pile of garbage of our own creation. For which, of course, there is a solution. You tax people more. I don't see how that is the solution, quite frankly, because you can control that before it happens. And that makes you think, why are these taxes imposed on anything and everything? It's almost like guilting you constantly that you're still breathing, you're still alive. Oh yeah, you are here to pay taxes. And what do you do with that knowledge when you look around and you see, for instance, bike lanes being built because there's a big need. Yeah. Because the traffic jam is normal now. Well, you waste your time if you don't get with the program. Go on a bike. Just travel for 15 minutes a day, here and there. Like you're an animal fenced in. I don't know. I don't like where this is going. My rant, I mean to say, it's getting too dark. And, what I started with was guilt. Why? Why would I feel guilty? I was born, for instance. Why would I feel guilty if I have some needs? My primary need is peace. My primary and pretty much only need is harmony and peace. That's what I seek. And that's what I try to propagate in my interactions. At the same time, you do need to bring some people, bring to their attention little things they might be missing. And then you take a leap of faith and you name some things that seem off to you. And then you feel guilty for ruining their day. Why did you have to mention that? I was having such a good day. I think it's not about ruining your day. It's about making your other days better. Just because you know more, and just because knowing more gives you ideas on what you need to do next, so your days are no longer ruined and you're in an eternal bliss just because you choose ignorance. Okay, this was my rant for Sunday. I hope you're having a wonderful day without feeling guilty just because someone decides you are guilty of being selfish when you safeguard your peace and your tranquility with the means you have at your disposal. Love you all. Take care.